And how do I stop it?
You call me.
Okay.
Or you get the mouse and you go over here and click stop.
Okay. All right.
I'll be watching.
So has it started?
Yes, it has.
Okay, so it's going now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Pardon this, everybody. We're trying to. I should say I'm trying to learn this thing. Michelangelo, he's got it figured out, but I don't have it figured out yet. So anyway, hope everybody's having a good. Is it Monday? I think it's Monday. I've been out of the country for the last 5 weeks and just got back in. Been traveling around. We've been shooting some video. Just got back from Africa, and we had a wonderful trip. And on the way back, I started thinking about. Got on the airplane. There was a lady that was pretty pissed off that I was a hunter and anyway, killing God's beautiful animals and all. And I thought, you know what? Somebody needs to get on and start talking about why we do this. And then she started talking about lions, and I started thinking about how much do you know about lions? Matter of fact, how much does anybody really know about lions? I know enough to be dangerous about them. I've been over there, spent a lot of time in Africa. I've seen wild lions. I've seen captive lions. I've been around a lot of people with lion experience, and I wanted to talk about should lions be banned, lion hunting be banned, and so anyway, I hope that we wind up jacking some people up on here. The reason why I want to discuss it because I think it's important that I think hunters wind up unite. You know, it's the name of our television show, The High Road, and I think that we need to look for that common thread that unites us all. And I think that predators, for whatever reason, people really get ticked off when you start talking about predators, whether it's cats or whether it's canines. It could be wolves or even coyotes. I mean, my next door neighbor, the ranch, my next door neighbor, every time we put a snare up, he throws mothballs in the snare hole to prevent us from catching coyotes. I mean, there are people that just don't believe in killing predators, and I think everything's got to be managed. So anyway, I decided we would do a YouTube live on lions. And I just got back from Africa, and I'll tell you what, Africa's wonderful. I tell people that I mean, there's so many different countries over there, but and there's so much to hunt, so much to do, and the dollar goes so far. But it's so important that hunters realize that if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for the hunters coming over there and paying the money to hunt, the animals wouldn't be there. Period. So anyway, I wanted to open this up to question, comments, and talk about it. First off, I'm not doing this to tick anybody off. I'm doing this to try to kind of set the record straight about lions. I know we put a Facebook post up today, and Blake Barnett's a buddy of mine. Blake does a television show with Larry Weissoon, another longtime buddy of mine, and I've known both those guys forever. And they go to Africa more than I do. Blake on his Facebook post put it like he's been 26 times, and that's a lot. And so I hope he's actually tuning in here and watching this because I'd like him to jump in on this anytime. But anyway, what I'm trying to do is I want to kind of set the record straight. I think that facts speak for themselves, and I think that what we need to do that track records speak for themselves. And I think when we start taking sides as hunters, and whether you're a bow hunter or a gun hunter, or you think, okay, I'm going to hunt for ducks or bucks or whatever it is, I think you're taking sides, and I think that I don't want to take sides. I want to take sides on the animal side and on the right side, and I think that we all need to kind of take the high road and figure out what the right side is. And if we really and truly love the animals that we hunt, and I love the animals that I hunt, and I know y'all do too. I think that you'd agree that we need to do what's best for the animals. So anyway, I think that I don't know where y'all hunt, but private landowners I think are the greatest stewards of the resource there are. And thank God we've got private landowners, whether you're in Kentucky or Tennessee or Texas, it doesn't matter. Private landowners are great stewards of the land, great stewards of the resources, and it happens to be they're great stewards in Africa as well. And so, we were driving around in Africa the other day, driving around there, a lot of government land, and I wound up asking my PH, I said, what kind of animals live out here? And he said, none. It's beautiful habitat. He says, none. And I said, what are you talking about? And literally none. They've got a saying over there, if it pays, it stays. And what that means is there's animals that have value. And if the animals have value, the people around there will keep the animals. Well, what happened is that the people that just poached the hell out of the animals, there's no animals left. And so you think that's a big statement in the government land in many parts of Africa, there are no animals left because people have just poached them. They've just killed them out because there was no value. But on private land, where the landowners have placed value on it, gets money out of it, and he supports the local economy, gives them venison and jobs and everything else. I mean, there's animals. So there's a wealth of animals. And so the private landowners to be, I think, pat on the back. So anyway, if you got any questions, I want to hear from you down here. I want to talk to you about the lions, you know, and if somebody can explain to me kind of what's going on, you know, we're supposed to have conservation organizations out there that wind up supporting all hunting. And I'm going to pick on Safari Club International right now, and Dallas Safari, and Houston Safari, and I'm wondering if somebody could just answer these questions or answer the question for me. Isn't there saying that first for all hunters, first for hunters? I would assume that's all hunters. Okay, if you do it legally, you do it ethically, I would think that they're for you. And about 2 years ago, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service came out and they made a decision that they were not going to allow importation of lions from Africa back into the United States. Legally killed lions. And so what that did, that immediately put the hit out on lions in Africa. And what I mean by that is that the natives who were getting money for it, the landowners that were getting money for people to come in on their land and hunt lions, whatever, they stopped being compensated for it. And again, it goes back to if it pays, it stays. There was no money coming in. But the do-gooders thought that if they can stop the importation of legally killed lions in the United States, that it was going to save the lions. Well, it did just the opposite. It killed off a bunch of lions. I mean, the people were poisoning them at water holes. I've got video of it. The lady that runs the South African Predator Association provided me with videos of lions that were poisoned at water holes, decapitated, their paws cut off, and they're sold in the black market because they had no value, because hunters weren't going to be able to come over there and take them back. Well, since U.S. Fish and Wildlife has opened up some of the importation back, they're allowing it. But then there's two different kinds of lion hunting. There's a captive lion hunting, and I don't like that word, but it's a captive lion hunting is what they call it. Not canned, but captive. Okay, and then there's a wild lion hunting. Well, the captive lion hunting is big business. Okay, and and I still don't understand why they stopped that. The Safari Club wound up in Dallas, and Houston came out opposed to captive lion hunting. And I'm going, what is the difference between that and hunting in a high fence in Texas or Michigan or wherever? Seriously, what is the difference? Is it because it's a cat? It's a big feline predator? I don't understand. And so if somebody could explain to me how come they can be first for hunters but not all hunters, when are they going to change that and say, you know what, I'm not for rabbit hunting or I'm not for bird hunting or whatever? Well, that could never happen. Well, how could it ever happen with the lions? And is it just because they just fall to political pressure? I don't know. I just don't understand their decision. But I want to answer some of these things. Okay, lions give a huge amount of money towards conservation. Amen. Jacob, they do give a tremendous amount of money. When people were willing to go over to Africa and spend $40 and $50 and $60,000 to go hunt a lion, that money goes a long ways over there. And don't you know that the natives would protect those animals tremendously? I mean, those animals, they got to eat something. I mean, I'm looking at the screen right now. They'd asked me when we were going to do this live feed on this topic. He said, what kind of video do you want us to put up there? And it's like I said, heck, I don't know. I don't have a lion video. I wish I did. But there's going to be a leopard hunt going on here. And leopards, I mean, I think they're the coolest animals. I mean, I've hunted and taken a couple of them. But people are pissed off when you wind up killing leopards. But when it getting back to the lions, it's like at some point, when are hunters going to unite? When are hunters going to get together and say, you know what, the animals, I don't care what it is that you hunt, I'm for you. Okay, I may not hunt bears with dogs, or I may not hunt deer with dogs or whatever, but I'm for you. If it's legal, I'm for you. And I don't want to be the moral police, and I don't think that somebody else should be the moral police saying that's right or that's wrong. So anyway, but let's see. YouTube probably hate you, but I don't. All right, Walker. YouTube, we're going to put this up on our YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to respond to as many of the questions that we get as possible. But, you know, I just want to know if somebody is opposed to lion hunting. Why? Why is that? Please let me hear from you. It'd be wonderful to know, because I don't think I'm going to change anybody's mind. Okay? I hope I do. But what I'd hope more than anything is just somebody could pause and go, maybe let's think about this a little bit more with their heads instead of with their hearts. And so, anyway, let's see, do whatever yields the greatest conservation, whatever that is. Okay, well, that's clear. You would do that. Okay, no, it shouldn't. Lion, okay, let's see, every animal needs to be harvested along with lions and tigers. I don't know about tigers. I don't even know where you'd go to hunt a tiger anymore, but I could only imagine. I mean, a lion, I'm telling y'all something. The other day, we had a lion look at us, and it's like it looked in your soul. It was the most incredible thing. Big yellow eyes, and it just looked right through you, just right inside of you. And it's like, oh my gosh, how could you not just admire an animal like that and just think, I wouldn't want to be left alone like that. Left alone with one like that without a gun for doggone sure, because they are pretty doggone tough. But, people say, well, what would you do with a lion if you shot it? Mount it. I mean, put it on display. Put it on display for other people to see and respect and admire, and hopefully to be able to take care of. Maddie, my daughter, she made a comment when she was a little bitty girl. She says, you know what, Daddy, I wish there was a dinosaur hunting season. I said, why is that? She was little. She said, because if there was a dinosaur hunting season, hunters would make sure we still had dinosaurs. And that's the truth, and that came from a little kid. And so if a little kid gets it, why can't big people get it? Why can't that lady on the airplane sitting next to me, why can't she understand that, hey, animals do need to be hunted? On this video that's playing on the screen, okay, I'm fixing to smoke a wildebeest that looked like there, but anyway, I shot a giraffe. And a giraffe is one of those hot topics like a lion that people get all ticked off. Why in the world would you shoot a giraffe? Well, there's lots of reasons to shoot a giraffe. About 3,000 pounds of venison is one of them. But anyway, they have to be managed. I mean, what are you going to do with a giraffe? What are you going to do with a lion? Where do the lions and giraffes live? They got to live somewhere. Do you want them living in your backyard? I don't think so. Do you want those things to, eating your cats and your dogs and your kids and your trees and everything else? Do you want those critters doing that? They got to be managed. And so it's on that private land that these people wind up having over in Africa that they allow those animals to live. And so, you got to go to different countries. Different countries are taking stances on the lions. I know when Cecil the lion was killed, Zimbabwe just said, they're not going to allow any more lion hunting. And how stupid was that? But, there are countries that are starting to wake up that are realizing, the wildlife does have value, and we got to do something with it, because if we don't, they're going to destroy the habitat. They're going to destroy the other wildlife that's living there. And so when the guys were asking me, said, what kind of topic do you want to talk about? I thought, let's talk about something kind of edgy. It's about killing lions. So come on, hit me with some questions. You're sitting here, I'm sitting here thinking, isn't anybody watching this? Okay, let's see. Hooty hoo. Do you still do January hunts on your ranch? Yeah, I do. We do January hunts for whitetail on the ranch, but I want to talk about lions. Doesn't anybody have questions about lions? Okay, I was at a place over in South Africa the other day. They had captive lions. And they were about a half a mile away from the little cottage I was staying in. And in the morning, early in the morning, you could hear the lions roaring. And it sounded like they were right outside. And I started thinking about it. I wasn't going to go outside. And there was no way I was going outside. And but not till at least it's daylight, like that was going to make a difference. But at least I didn't want to walk out there in the black dark. The lions roaring like crazy. They feed them twice a week, and if you haven't ever seen lions eat, you won't believe how cool it is. We got video of it. What do they feed them? This particular place was feeding them donkeys, and donkeys are pretty cheap over there, and they're big and they're great protein. And so literally they dumped them over the fence, and these big lions, literally, it would take 3 or 4 men to move the carcass of one of these donkeys. A lion just reaches over there and grabs it and moves it like that. They're so unbelievable strong. How many big cats hunts have I been on? Several. Okay. And I'm just kind of wondering, and that was from Vo. Okay. How does lion taste? You know what I'm going to say. It tastes like chicken. I don't know how lion tastes. I do know how a mountain lion tastes. It tastes pretty doggone good, but I don't know how African lion. What's the biggest lion I've ever killed? I didn't measure, okay? But I will tell you this, that I've seen a lot of really big lions, and the very first one I saw was on August 20th, 1999 in Zimbabwe. I remember it like it happened just right now outside. August 20th, 1999, driving down the road, in a dirt road. We were back buffalo hunting, and all of a sudden this lion crossed the road in front, great big black maned lion, and he's walking. He turned and he looked right at me like that, walked off the side of the road. I was like, stop, stop. And we stopped. I wanted to film it, and the PH says, you're out of your mind. He will jump in the back, because we got zebras that we're using for leopard bait in the back. I mean, it was the most incredible thing. August the 20th, 1999. When you see an animal like that, and you're a hunter, it'll stick in your mind. You'll never ever forget it. Why did you hunt lions? Why not hunt lions? The lions have to be managed, don't they? I mean, how else are lions going to be managed? Let me just ask you that. If you don't hunt lions, what do you do with them? Just sit over here wherever you live in your comfortable neighborhood and whatever, and just let them go? Somebody's got to live with them. Lions eat, they drink, they take up country, they require habitat. What else you can do with them? Just leave them alone? I mean, again, going back to the saying in Africa, if it pays, it stays. And so it has to be worth something. If you take the value off of that lion, why should those people keep them? I mean, seriously, what incentive do they have to keep the lions? What gun would you use to kill a lion? The smallest caliber would be a .375. As far as shot placement goes, I can tell you this, a real nice shot's right here inside of the neck. Another one's right through the shoulders. They are unbelievable tough. They're pretty thin skinned. They're very short hair, but they are unbelievable tough, and they can take a licking, I promise you. And there's something about a lion. I don't know if y'all saw the video on YouTube or not. It was several years ago. There was a group of guys lined up, and typically when you go out lion hunting, you've got a PH. If you're like in Zimbabwe or other countries, will have a government guy with you to make sure you're doing everything legal and that you're safe. You'll have some trackers with you and maybe somebody filming whatever. Well, on YouTube they had this lion, a big black maned lion out there, and there was a group of guys, and the hunter goes and he shot it, and the lion immediately turned and ran. Instead of running at any of the other guys in the group, ran straight for the guy that shot him, and it was amazing. And anyway, the lion swatted him going past, and they rolled over and they shot the lion. It was amazing though. Nobody else got hurt. Nobody else got shot. But for whatever reason, the lions are smart. They know what's going on, and they are some incredible animals. How many shots does it take to kill a lion? Depends on how good a shot you are. I mean, one shot and you can level them pretty easy. You just got to wait for the right shot and take the right shot. So a .375 would be the smallest one. What is the level of intimidation when you are hunting such a powerful, strong animal? Most of it, I really believe, is mental. I mean, you've got to physically be able to make the shot, but you've got to mentally be able to stand up and realize, you know what, you have to do it. I mean, you put yourself and your whole party in that position that they're counting on you. You can't puss out. I mean, you've got to make the shot, and so it's just it's a mental deal. I mean, when you get in there, all of a sudden it's mental. You got to do what you got to do to make it happen. Okay, hey, just sub love. I don't know. I can't understand that one. Thanks for answering my questions. We live pretty close together. You bet. What's the worst thing that happened to you when you went hunting? I don't know. Get a bad case of diarrhea, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I've had some close calls with snakes, and I got in Zimbabwe. I got beat up. I hadn't been in the country away from the airport Harare for about 30 minutes, and we were driving past, and I had a little camera, and I put it up underneath my arm like this, and I'm filming the guys around Mugabe's palace, and because we're white, we stick out, like I say, a turd in a punch bowl, and everybody over there is black. I'm talking about black as my shirt, and anyway, we're sitting there, and these little guards around the palace saw me, and they all had guns, and they came over there and took me out. Now, I mean, they wore me out bad. So that's probably the worst thing that ever happened to me on a hunt. The worst thing that ever happened to me. I took Colton one time on a bear hunt up in Canada. This isn't funny, I got to tell you, the guide, he was always drunk. And after the third day, it's like, where the hell's Greg? We asked the outfitter, where's Greg? Where's Greg? And on the fifth day, he said, Greg died. What? Yeah, he didn't quit drinking. He died of alcohol poisoning. So that was a pretty bad deal. So we've had some weird things happening on some of these hunts we've been on. Aloha from Hawaii, Jim says. Send some lions here. Some people need to be eaten. Yeah, no doubt. You know, I was getting back to in South Africa when those lions were roaring early in the morning when I got up. It was like, I thought, you know what? I know there's some real tough kids out there. They think they're real bad. I'm thinking, I'd love to take one of those guys and just send him outside the cottage about right now. Let's just see how bad you really are. Do you think you can take on a lion? Get it on. I'd like to see that. Should we be able to kill farmed animals? Why not? If you're good with it, if it's legal, if you're good with it, why not? I mean, I like eating cows. I like eating chickens and goats and pigs. And, yeah, so I don't have a problem with that. If you could only have one animal to hunt, what would it be? Man, that's a tough question. I know if you ask Johnny, my producer, Johnny would wind up saying a turkey, but or even kudu now because he shot his first kudu bull the other day in Africa. But I like bears. I mean, bears. I think bears are pretty cool. Okay, I like all kinds of bears. I like the habitat they live in. I like their demeanor. I like bears. I like watching bears. Will a 308 take down a grizzly? Yeah, but not real well. Okay, you probably need to step up to a little bit bigger gun than that, I would say. But 308, it's all shot placement. I mean, I've shot a lot of bears right here, right there. You shoot them right in the running gear, and they just down like a stone. When are you going to make another lion hunt? I am not going to make another lion hunt just yet. I don't have any plans. But that could change. Okay, that could change. It all depends on what happens. If somebody hadn't gotten on and talked to me about why Safari Club is opposed to captive lion hunting, I'd really like to know that. I'm just wondering. Let me paint this picture out to you. Okay, let's just say that all this area in Africa we're looking at, this big open area. Let's just say that the lions get shot out because they have no value. What's going to happen to lions? They're gone. Where are we going to come up with lions? You just don't go to a lion store. It's for that reason that captive lions, I think, are so important, that we've got to have captive lions. If we don't have captive lions and they wind up killing the hell out of lions in all these other countries, so how are we going to have lions? So I think that captive lions, I mean, there's an important role that the captive lions have. And whether you agree with hunting them or disagree with it, I just think that there's an important role, and I think that we all need to let the free market, kind of control what's going on there. Nobody wants to kill off all the lions, but very few people other than hunters put any money up to take care of the lions. I'll put it that way. Yep, lion hunting should be continued until they're all gone. There's no room in a civil world for a lion or a human being that acts like a lion. Bullies. Yep. Farmed lions is the same to me. An animal bred for the purpose in a controlled environment, no issue. A white rhino is different since there are none in the wild. The white rhino, I wound up the other day in South Africa. I was hunting, actually hunting for baboons, and I wound up. I heard something off to the side, and it was a female. It was a mama rhino and her baby, and it was the coolest thing. I filmed them coming in, and then had a big bull giraffe come in with a bunch of females, and it was just cool watching this. Like, that's why I go to Africa. And I'm thinking, thank God we were on a private piece of property, because outside that private piece of property, there were no animals. Zero, because they had nobody to take care of the animals. Let's see. There are more tigers, lions in Texas in cages than in the wild. Whatever. How long have you been hunting lions? Okay, I love deer, squirrel, and I love it. Yep. And rabbits. Yep. Live in Kentucky, and the biggest buck I ever killed was a 7-pointer. Ain't nothing wrong with a 7-pointer, man. That's a good one. When is the next deer farming show? Good question. We're fixing to start doing some deer farming shows in about another 6 weeks, and I can't wait. The deer are blowing up right now. Has anybody seen any fawns? Because if you've seen any fawns, leave them alone. Okay? Most people, the mama left. The mama knows exactly where that fawn is. She'll be back to get it. Hunting a captive population is vital to any conservation efforts. Without the top predators, ecosystems become vulnerable. Yep, I love the vids. Thanks, Breyer. Uh, Lions should be hunted, but with moderation. I love hunting. No hunter that I know of wants to kill off everything. I'm going predator or prairie dog hunting next week. I'm going to go up to North Dakota with Scott Bachmeyer, my buddy who does Dakota Prairie Outdoors radio show up there. We're going to go up there and shoot some sod puppies, as we call it, and taking the guys from Timber Creek. And I mean, we're going to have a fun time. Do we want to kill them all? Nope. But we want to kill a whole bunch of them, and the reason why is because we have fun doing it. There's no shortage in population. There's no limit. There's no season, and the license is $15, and we're going to go up there and we're going to shoot as many as we can. And the landowners love us. Why? Because they need to be managed. Okay, it's either that you manage them with a little piece of lead, or you can manage them with poison. Who wants to poison them and kill all of them? Nobody wants to kill all of them. Okay. Let's see here. How long? Let's see. I have a baby fawn in my unfenced backyard right now. Tyson, leave it alone and watch it, because Mama will come back and get it. I promise you. I mean, I think it's the coolest thing. The little fawns. I make a comment on our deer farming show all the time. If you don't like baby deer, I'm probably not going to like you, and I really believe that's the truth, because I don't know of anybody who doesn't like a baby deer. And I think that's how come a lot of animal rights people and anti-hunters have really taken the side of Bambi. I mean, they love deer. Well, we love deer more. I mean, think about that. We put our money, our land, our lives out there to take care of these animals because we love them. And those other people may love them. They may love looking at the cartoon books or a little video or whatever, but we put our money where our mouth is, and we actually do something for the betterment of animals. Let's see. How many lions do you think should be shot a year? Alberto, that is impossible to answer. I mean, come on. Unless you know how many lions there are, how many of them are, how much land do they have to live on? I mean, what is the reproduction on them? I mean, that is an impossible question to answer. You have to have really smart people to be able to make quotas on that, and that's what they do. I mean, in Colorado, Montana, Wyoming, these different states, they have quotas on mountain lion hunting. The reason why is because they don't want to overkill. They don't want to overkill the animals. Okay, so leave that up to smarter people than we are, for sure. There's something with Africa, the soil stains you, and you always want to go back. Trophy hunting is sustainable if you breed for it. That's what most people don't get. I will tell you this: there is something about going to Africa. If you go to Africa once, you're going to go back. I mean, it's like it's in you, and you can't stop. I'm already planning my next trip back. I mean, took Maddie over there this time. It was her very first trip, and she loved it. The big thing I really enjoyed hunting the most was baboons and monkeys. And you may think, baboons and monkeys, man, they're awesome. I took my little Sumatra air rifle over there. It's a little 25 caliber lever air rifle I got from Pyramid Air, and it shoots it shoots all in the same hole. And I shot a monkey. Y'all wait to see this. I mean, this monkey was eating an orange like this, eating an orange like this, and he looked up and anyway, he went down, didn't budge. Anyway, I like hunting monkeys and baboons and stuff, but look at the screen right there. See that big giraffe right there? See that big giraffe right there? You won't believe how they can take a 50 BMG. I don't know if you can see this right here on my forehead or not, but I laid myself wide open. Can you see that? Yeah, I laid myself wide open with a 50 BMG right there, shooting one of those long neck boogers, and wait till you see that footage. I think you're going to really like it. Tyson, leave that phone alone. His mom will be back. That's right. Let's see here. Have you ever had giraffe meat? You doggone right. I'll tell you what, if a giraffe, it's one of those kind of deals. Look at the skin in it right here on the screen. There were 11 trackers there, okay? And it took 3 hours to get that thing done. We had a refrigerator truck there. And but 11 skinners and trackers, whatever, they cut the thing up, and at the end there was nothing gone to waste. So you used the skin, the leg bones to make knives out of, and all kinds of artwork, lamps. Every piece of hide was used. It was pretty awesome. But giraffes are just cool animals, and the meat is pretty doggone good. What's it taste like? Giraffe. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm going to stop that. I promised my guys that I would not go over 30 minutes, and I set that alarm for 30 minutes. So let me get back on these. How do you groundhog hunt? I don't know. I've never groundhog hunted. I've always seen them when I go up to Pennsylvania, whatever, and bow hunt. It's like I try to shoot them, I keep missing them. But I would love to groundhog hunt. I prairie dog hunt a lot. And it's not really prairie dog hunting. It's prairie dog shooting is what I like to do. Let's see here. Just got back last week from a lion hunt. Had a great one. No difference between raising deer to hunt than a lion. People have to get over it. TC, right on, buddy. I'm with you. I like to hear that. But if somebody's got a problem with lion hunting, I want to get on and say, how come? Please. Whether it's captive lion hunting, it's wild lion hunting, I want to hear why. Please, I'd love to have somebody get on here while we're doing this to be able to address that with them. How much do you charge for a bare bones deer hunt on your property? I'm 15, so I don't have much money. Jathan, I'm an old man and I don't have much money. No, I'll tell you what, you can go to our website, Hidden Springs Ranch at TexasHiddenSpringsRanch.com and check out our pricing, okay? Let's see. Billy, thank you, man. I appreciate the comments. Y'all got any questions or comments, go ahead and post them below. I'll try to get back with you, but I promised my guys I wouldn't go over 30 minutes. And yeah, do you eat the lion meat? Guy, I've never eaten lion meat. Not from an African lion, but I've eaten tons of mountain lion meat. I think it's really, really good. I think the saddest place to see such majestic creatures, such as a lion, is in captivity, zoos, or animal prison. Sometimes I'm not going to argue with you on that. What was the dumbest animal you've ever killed? I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, I've shot a lot of dumb stuff. I mean, I think a white-tailed deer, I mean, they can be so smart at times, and sometimes, I mean, when a girl walks out in front of them when they're in love, they can just lose their mind. So, anyway, TC, we eat some of the lion. It was actually pretty good. Okay, man, listen, guys, I'm going to sign out of here. If you got any questions or comments, let me hear from you. Go over to our website, highroadhunting.com. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Hit that alert button on there, so every time we upload a new video, you'll be alerted that that video is on there. And I want your feedback. I mean, we value your feedback. We appreciate your feedback and appreciate you taking time to watch and get involved and getting engaged in the activity of hunting. Anyway, I'm out of here. Michelangelo, where the hell are you? Michelangelo! Michelangelo is the guy that kind of helps me out here. He keeps me going. And oh, here he is. Look at him sneaking in. Here, I'm going to point the camera at him right here. Here. There he is. Okay. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. How do you sign this thing out?